What's good, you guys? It's Lifestyle from lifestyledidit.com, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how loud your beats should be on your beat store compared to how loud they should be when they get delivered to the artist. These are two different volumes. One, you're going to need to leave headroom, and that's going to be for the version that goes out to the artist or the customer that buys your beats. And then we have the beat store, the one that plays on your beat store for them to audition and hear how loud you need to have that. So let's get into that today. So it's going to be a real simple video. Let me put these headphones on real quick. But pretty much when you have a beat store, you're going to have your beats playing for the artist to hear them. And then you're going to have two versions of the beat. One is what plays in front of them with the tags, and if they like the beat and they buy the beat, there's another version that sends out to them. So on BeatStars, that would be the very first upload WAV file that you upload to BeatStars, and then the tagged MP3 that you upload later is going to be that second version. So pretty much what you want to do if you want to be nice to the artist and help out the engineer and make life for everyone a lot easier when you have a beat store and you're selling beats is for the version that goes to the artist. The track outs, the MP3, the WAV, might have one tag or that are untagged, however you have it set up. The version that gets sent to the artist, keep headroom on that. This allows the artist to have room to lay vocals on top of it, but the most important part is it allows the engineer to have headroom to mix with. So even if your beat is already up to 0, yes, they can gain it back down a few dB, but you've already done some type of clipping or limiting to the beat, so you've already taken some of the punchiness out of it. When you leave headroom, it allows them to have the vocal lay over it. They're still under 0 dB on the master, so they can further mix it to sound better because it's not already compressed or clipped, and the beat still has dynamic range to it, so the overall product will sound better. Because if you send them something that's been limited, clipped, compressed, there's less dynamic range in your beat. You throw a vocal on top of that, and then they run it through maybe another limiter because they don't even know that you limited it or clipped it, and it just starts to sound squished. Your beat sounds terrible. There's no dynamic range to it. There's no punch to it, and it just sounds flat out bad. So on the version that goes to the artist, you're going to want to leave headroom. That's as easy as not hitting 0, right? So you'll see with this beat, our true peak is around -3.6, but the beat's usually resting around -8 to -6 dB. So there's almost 4 decibels of headroom before we hit 0. Cool thing about this is it doesn't need to be a certain number as long as you're not at 0 or you're not pushing it into 0 with a limiter or a clipper. You're now leaving headroom and they can gain it back further, but the main part of this is that you didn't squash the dynamic range with some type of plug-in being a limiter or clipper, right? So now we're going to talk about the version that gets played on your beat store. So when we have that, yes, we want that to be loud. We want that to be clipped, or we want that to be limited. And I'm talking about clipping, meaning clippers, right, that are used in mastering sometimes instead of a limiter, not clipping like running into the red. So I'm just going to load up a limiter real quick and show you what we could do. So if we were to be setting this for our beat store, we're going to start to pull the limiter down. I have many videos on this, and we're going to get maybe 3 to 4 dB of gain reduction going. So that would sound cool. And now we're going to bring the out ceiling up to about -0.2. And now we have a louder beat, right? And if we go over here and check our true peak, -0.2 is the loudest it's getting, and now we have a louder beat. But you see what's happening right here, right? This is gain reduction. We're clipping off certain parts of the beat, mostly the kick and the snare, because they're the loudest in this beat, to get it to be louder. If we send this version to an artist, the punch is already kind of leaving, and then the engineer's gonna have to go in there and gain it down to have some headroom, but it's already been pushed and the dynamic range has already been kind of chopped off, so there's not too much difference between the loudest and the quieter parts, so the vocal's kind of really just gonna sit directly on top of the beat and it can't move in between. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there's not louder and quieter parts. You've already limited it or clipped it to the point where the dynamic range isn't as vast as it was before. So on this version, this is what we would upload to our beat store, so they could be hearing a loud version of the beat. But when we do the track outs or the untagged or one tag WAV and MP3 file that the customer gets, just go ahead and take your limiter off and make sure that you're leaving headroom like we are here. So like I said, it was a real quick video just to kind of show you what I do and the reason I do it. There's a lot of people that upload their beats with no headroom and it goes to the artist, and it just causes a lot of headache for engineers. Honestly, this is the easiest way to do it. Your beat will play loud when it needs to, when it's in front of people on your store, but when it gets sent out to a customer that bought it, it will have that headroom that they need to record over and really help out the engineers or the mastering engineers that are going to be working on the final product. If you guys did like this video, leave a thumbs up. You can follow me on all social medias at Lifestyle Did It. Make sure to hit my site lifestyledidit.com for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy, push notifications. Thanks.